This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. Beginning down in South Florida with 4 stakes races, all of them ungraded. Nonetheless, some very good racing competition going back to last Friday in the Banshee Breeze for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, going a mile and a 16th for $75,000. Let's head down to Gulfstream in the running of the Banshee Breeze.
They're off. Dance the Slew right out for the front. Kiss Me Twice and Stormy Frolic. Wins Fair Lady quickly into stride. And here comes Wins Fair Lady to challenge Dance the Slew. And these two set off and go very fast. Dance the Slew takes charge. Wins Fair Lady, Stormy Frolic, and now Nonsuch Bay up into 4th. Kiss Me Twice and Tough Chick are next. Then Lead Story. And at the back of the pack are Sea Mist and Tonight's Wager as they go to the back stretch. Dance the Slew from the outside to the rail will set the pace in the second running of the Banshee Breeze. She's a length and a quarter in front of Wins Fair Lady, who presses in second. It's a big gap of 6 lengths back to Stormy Frolic. She's third and 7.5 lengths off the lead. Nonsuch Bay, the big favorite, is 4th, and she's got 10 to make up, joined from the outside by Tough Chick. Kiss Me Twice is 6th now, and she's 13 from the front. They fly up front. Lead Story has 15 to come, then 2 back to Tonight's Wager, and if Sea Mist wins the Banshee Breeze, she'll make up 20 lengths in the final half mile as Dance the Slew aggressively goes into the far turn. She leads by a length and a quarter over Wins Fair Lady in second. Now stretch runners are moving in. Stormy Frolic gets first crack, but Nonsuch Bay is just inside of her. Nonsuch Bay moves up beautifully at the rail. She could have to wait for racing room if Dance the Slew backs up into her. We'll see. Nonsuch Bay going to angle 3 off the fence, and now she's a length and a quarter from the front. Wins Fair Lady takes over the lead. Dance the Slew gasps and backs out of it. Nonsuch Bay confidently handled by Abarcoa, and here comes Grade 1 stakes winner Nonsuch Bay. She levels out and runs away. She's 5 in front. Lead Story up into second. Stormy Frolic is third, but Nonsuch Bay just crushed them in the Banshee Breeze and won by 4. It could have been 44. What a big run. Lead Story was second, Tonight's Wager third, and Stormy Frolic finished 4th.
Nonsuch Bay returns with a very nice effort here, drawing off easily by 4 as the odds-on choice from Longshot's Lead Story and Tonight's Wager, both of whom made nice bids from well off the pace as those who had tried to go on with Nonsuch Bay when she made a relatively early move, pretty much all dropping back. The winner, Nonsuch Bay, is a chestnut 3-year-old daughter of Mr. Greeley from Brighter Than Gold by Light Idea, bred in Kentucky by the Sabine Stable, owned by Joseph Platt Jr., trained by Frank Alexander, and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. Nonsuch Bay covers the mile and a 16th at Gulfstream in 1:43.1. Heading back to Gulfstream next for the running of the Artax Handicap, a 7-furlong sprint with a $100,000 purse. Let's head back down to Florida in the running of the Artax.
They're off. Perfect start. Native Air and Tour of the Cat break best. To the outside end, Burning Roma close up. Swift Replica and No Excuse Needed with Better Road and Highway Prospector, and the trailer is Stormcraft. It is Native Air and Rosemary quickest up the backstretch. Native Air leads No Excuse Needed by a tight length. Swift Replica is tightly at the rail, and here he comes up into second. Now No Excuse Needed is third and a length and a half from the front. Tour of the Cat, Better Road, and Burning Roba make up the next flight. They're all 3 from the front running Native Air at the half-mile marker. 4 lengths further back to Stormcraft, and Highway Prospector is the trailer as the entry mates are first and last, leaving the backstretch in the Artax Handicap. It is Native Air trying to go it all the way. He's left the rail open for Swift Replica, who draws within a half length of the lead. No Excuse Needed is now hard ridden by Edgar Prado, and at the quarter pole, Longshot Swift Replica puts his head in front. It's 2 lengths to Burning Roma. Tour of the Cat has 6 lengths to make up. Highway Prospector unwinds now, and here comes Highway Prospector smartly up into 5th, and he's on a roll. Swift Replica has the lead. Native Air comes after him. Highway Prospector could be the one because he's flying through at the rail. Swift Replica trying to shut off Highway Prospector. Can he do it? Highway Prospector muscles through. Swift Replica back to second. Highway Prospector, yes! Highway Prospector won the Artax by a length and a half.
Highway Prospector, one of the contingent from the Gill and Schumann combination, which has just done so well down in Florida this winter. This was a horse, like many of their better runners, who they took through the claiming box, picking up a nice victory here from well off the pace, splitting rivals, rallying move. A little bit of a bumping incident at the 16th pole, but was able to draw clear by almost 2 from 81 to 1 shot. Swift Replica nearly pulling off the upset after forcing the pace early, with Native Air, the stablemate of the winner, early pace setter here, picking up the 3rd spot. Favorite in the field, Burning Roma, a little disappointing, never really got into the running after running mid-pack early. The pace was certainly there, just did not have the ability to catch it on Saturday. Highway Prospector is a 6-year-old dark bay or brown horse, the son of Crafty Prospector, from Highway Queen by Wavering Monarch. Bred in Kentucky by James Islin and Marvin Little Jr. He is owned by Michael Gill, trained by Mark Schumann, and ridden to victory by Cornelio Velasquez. Highway Prospector covers the 7 furlongs of the Artax in 1:21 and 3. Back to Gulfstream next for the running of the Aventura on Saturday. 3-year-olds, $250,000, mile and a 16th, an ungraded stakes race, which may play a little bit of a part in the outcome here. Let's head back down to Gulfstream in the running of the Aventura.
They're off. Valid Video, Massive, Private City, and Unbridled's King with Valenzo between horses. These 4 race out and go quickly. Massive's a neck in front. White Buck and Dynaver are next, then Super Blitz, and the early trailer is Popular Groom. 3 across the track at the clubhouse turn. Valenzo between horses. Massive green lead to the outside and Valid Video at the rail. And Valenzo will emerge with the lead. He's 3/4 of a length in front. Valid Video and Massive press him 2nd and 3rd. Then it's a gap of 5 lengths back to Private City. Unbridled's King is outside of him in the pink, and he is 7 lengths from Valenzo, who takes them to the backstretch. Dynaver has been angled to the clear. He is 9 lengths off the lead in 6th. White Buck just inside of him. Then Popular Groom and Super Blitz, 12 lengths from first to last, 4.5 furlongs to run in the Aventura Stakes. Valenzo has left the rail open for Valid Video to come through and challenge at the half-mile pole. Valenzo leads by just a neck. Valid Video is 2nd by a length and a half. Massive put to a full-out drive, a length and a half from the front. White Buck, Unbridled's King to the outside. Dynaver, Private City, Popular Groom, and Super Blitz, and the entire field bunches up, leaving the backstretch. And Super Blitz and Dynaver, 4 and 5 wide respectively, are on the move after the front. It is Valenzo, a tenuous neck in front. Valid Video's at the rail. Dynaver is 3 deep. Super Blitz and Rosemary to the outside. Those are the 4 that line up at the top of the stretch. And here comes Super Blitz to put a neck in front. Dynaver gets the acid test now and tries to go with them, and these 2 throw down for the final 1/8 of the mile of the Aventura Stakes. It is Super Blitz just in front. Dynaver has to fire through from the inside, and he does. Dynaver takes the lead. Super Blitz left back in 2nd, and Dynaver explodes in the final 100 and wins the Aventura. Dynaver 3 lengths in front at the wire. Super Blitz 2nd, Massive 3rd, and White Buck finished 4th.
Dynaver drawing off very impressive fashion here. This was an ungraded stakes race, and therefore this race does not help him in terms of any Kentucky Derby aspirations, although with the connections that he has being trained by Christophe Clement, I would imagine that perhaps the Derby was not really on their dance card, although this horse, just off of a maiden victory, has certainly developed very impressively. He was reserved in the early part of the race, made a 5-wide rallying move, came through between horses, and ended up engaging Super Blitz, a far more experienced horse with some Grade 1 credentials of his own, and ended up putting that rival away, drawing off to a handy 3+ lengths as the odds-on choice. He had been 5-1 on the morning line. I didn't expect to get anywhere near that once they had got into the gate. Super Blitz, good effort to finish 2nd, with Massive, who was involved right from the start, holding on to the 3rd spot at 31-1, but a huge effort here by Dynaver. Does look like the Kentucky Derby is not likely for this guy. He is obviously lacking in graded stakes credentials and earnings, but certainly a horse to keep your eye out for. A lot of talk this past weekend of the possibility of, if there was a Travers future book, that this horse would probably be the favorite. The winner, Dynaver, is a dark bay or brown son of Dynaformer from Flamboyance by Zilzal. He was bred in Kentucky by Catherine Wills, owned by Catherine Wills and Peter Karchus, and trained by Christophe Clement. Ridden to victory by Edgar Prado, who stayed in Florida, taking a pass on the opportunity to ride Take Charge Lady in order to keep the mount on this 3-year-old colt. Dynaver covers the mile and the 16th of the Aventura in 1:43 flat. We're going to head back to Gulfstream next for the running of the Via Borghese Stakes on Sunday. $75,000 on offer for 3-year-old fillies, going a mile and an 1/8 on turf. Let's head back down to Gulfstream and the call of the Via Borghese.
They're off. Very awkward start for Sweet Tricky Dancer, Formal Miss, and Crimson and Roses with 1 in 20 and Fence Line Neighbor. These 4 are quickest. Fortuitous and Gallo Gal are next. Dyna Flyer and Vuitton, and the bad start has Sweet Tricky Dancer at the back of the pack. Formal Miss is headstrong, and she slows them down first time by the stance, joined by Crimson and Roses, and these two set a very sensible pace. Formal Miss wants to go out and open up 3. Jock wants her to sit only a length in front. Crimson and Roses in 1 in 20 with Fence Line Neighbor 3 deep. It's a length and a half further back, too. Gallo Gal, and just outside of Gallo Gal goes Fortuitous. They're both about 5 from the front. Then Dyna Flyer and Sweet Tricky Dancer, and Vuitton is the trailer as they turn to the backstretch, and Formal Miss is getting her way. She's now 3 lengths in front as they turn into the backside of the Via Borghese Stakes. Crimson and Roses is second by a tight length with a Fence Line Neighbor and 1 in 20 at the hedge. Fortuitous is 5th. She's got 4 lengths to make up. Gal O Gal saves ground into the far turn. Dyna Flyer is 6 off the lead. Inside of her is Sweet Tricky Dancer, and the trailer is Vuitton as they leave the backstretch. Formal Miss continues to set the pace. She's done it easily and smartly to this point, a length and 3/4 in front of Crimson and Roses in second. Fence Line Neighbor is 3 deep in third, 1 in 20, joined by Dyna Flyer, and here comes Dyna Flyer in the pink cap. She'll go up 4 wide in the white place face within 2 of the lead. They head to the top of the stretch. Fence Line Neighbor, Crimson and Roses, and Formal Miss at the hedge. Dyna Flyer going to join the party 4 deep. Fortuitous and Sweet Tricky Dancer wide open in the Via Borghese. Crimson and Roses, Formal Miss at the rail. Fence Line Neighbor, Dyna Flyer still a length to come. Gallo Gal is next, and Fence Line Neighbor has taken the lead. Gallo Gal with a late charge, as is Fortuitous. Fence Line Neighbor wins. Fence Line Neighbor held off Fortuitous and Gallo Gal. Crimson and Roses finished 4th.
Fence Line Neighbor and Julio Garcia, stalking trip with a 4-wide rallying move, fully extended to a half-length victory at boxcar prices. 30-1 on top here for Fence Line Neighbor, pulling off the upset over the favored Fortuitous, filly that we had seen in New York early in her career last summer for the Jim Bond barn, with Gal O Gal rallying nicely from off the pace after getting stuck inside in a little bit of traffic to finish in the 3rd spot. The winner, Fence Line Neighbor, is a dark bay or brown 3-year-old filly, a daughter of Wild Rush from Let Fly by Flying Paster, bred by the Marablu Farm in Florida, owned by Monarch Stable and trained by Larry Pilati, ridden to victory by Julio Garcia. Fence Line Neighbor wins the Via Borghese at a mile and an 1/8 on the turf in 1:50-1. Heading next to Chicago for the running of the Illinois Derby at Hawthorne Park. $500,000 grade 2 for 3-year-olds, going a mile and an 1/8. Obviously, horses looking to get Triple Crown or Kentucky Derby credentials in terms of graded stakes earnings in what looks like a wide open season. Let's head to Hawthorne now in the running of the Illinois Derby.
All set. They're up. In between horses, Fun to Fun's left for the lead. LX Commander out well. Blackington is there, and on the outside, here's Alley Sweep moving up as they race under the finish wire for the first time, a mile to run in the race. It's LX Commander on a short lead. On the outside, Alley Sweep challenging second. Fun to Fun's tucked in along the rail third. Blackington now tracking the leaders in 4th. Towards the inside, Cherokee's Boy now finds a good spot 5th, 3.5 lengths behind the leader. Then Lone Star Sky out there in 6th, a length and a half back to 10 Most Wanted 7th, 3 lengths back to Brian Dude 8th. Then towards the inside, Fufa's Warrior 9th, and running on Nitro is 10th and last with less than 6 furlongs to go. And on the mid-back stretch, LX Commander leads 3/4 of a length. Alley Sweep tracking in 2nd. Towards the inside, Fun to Fun's 3rd. Cherokee's Boy racing 4th. Lone Star Sky on the outside 5th. 10 Most Wanted along the inside 6th, and that one's about 6 behind the leaders. Blackington next. Then it's a 2.5 length gap to Fufaz Warrior. Running on nitro, still 12 lengths behind the leaders, and trailing the field, Brian Dude. And around the turn they go. Alley Sweep on the outside, LX Commander on the inside. Head and head, nose and nose for the lead. Fun to Funds ranging up on the outside third. 10 Most Wanted now, full of run, no place to go on the inside fourth. They're at the top of the stretch. Alley Sweep between horses on a short lead. A quarter of a mile to go in the Illinois Derby. Fun to Funds now surging on the outside. Fun to Funds now takes the lead and draws away. Here comes 10 Most Wanted charging up in second. Cherokee's Boy third. Alley Sweep dropping back fourth. Lone Star Sky fifth. And here comes 10 Most Wanted on the outside. And 10 Most Wanted and Pet Day run to the lead and draw away. Here's the wire. 10 Most Wanted. 10 Most Wanted won it by 3. Fun to Fun second. Fufaz Warrior third. Lone Star Sky fourth. The Illinois Derby from Hawthorne.
10 Most Wanted and Pat Day. A little bit of traffic trouble, didn't have a whole lot of speed. Got into a little bit of a box at the top of the stretch, but Pat Day, patient as always, picking up his first victory ever in the Illinois Derby, able to draw clear by an easy 4 as the favorite from Fun to Fun. 21-1. This is a horse that had come through the allowance program in New York over the wintertime, shipping out to the Midwest for Rick Violet and connections here. Very impressive effort. In fact, took the lead rather commandingly at the top of the stretch, but 10 Most Wanted, once he shook clear, was able to reach out and get him. Fufaz Warrior had a little bit of a hopping start, did end up making a belated rally into the third spot. The winner, 10 Most Wanted, is a dark bay or brown 3-year-old son of Deputy Commander from Wanted Again by Criminal Type. A lot of pedigree to go along there. He's bred in Kentucky by Jim H. Clemens, owned by James Chisholm and Michael Jarvis in the Horizons stable, and trained by Wally Delassie, ridden to victory by Pat Day. 10 Most Wanted covers the 1 1/8 at Hawthorne in 1:51.2. We're going to continue moving slightly further west, this time to Texas, to Lone Star Park for the running of the Grand Prairie Turf Challenge. 3-year-olds going a flat mile on the turf for $100,000. Let's head to Texas and the running of the Grand Prairie Turf Challenge.
Racing. Lone Star Deputy beats them out. Call Me Lefty showing good pace. So is Leo's Last Hurrah. So is Commander's Affair, who will have his head in front with a lap to go. Commander's Affair a neck in front now from Call Me Lefty. Leo's Last Hurrah. Giant Bellyache goes up 4th. Lone Star Deputy easing back 5th on the inside of Marsh. Followed by Ice and Water, Gentleman JJ and Tora Tora. Around the first turn, 6 furlongs from home. Commander's Affair is ahead in front of Call Me Lefty, with Leo's Last Hurrah 2.5 lengths back third. 1.5 to Giant Bellyache covering Lone Star Deputy. Marsh 3 wide, 6 off the lead. Ice and Water between horses, and 2.5 Tora Tora with Gentleman JJ. At the 5/8 pole, Call Me Lefty the new leader. Ahead over Commander's Affair. 2.25 to Leo's Last Hurrah. Lone Star Deputy up on the inside to a joint third. Ice and Water improving between horses, so Leo's Last Hurrah, he's now 3 wide. That would put Giant Bellyache 4 wide, and Marsh a length back 5 wide, 5 off the lead from Tora Tora and Gentleman JJ as they bunch at the 3/8. It's Commander's Affair battling with Call Me Lefty. Leo's Last Hurrah here, half length back. He's gaining quickly, 3 wide. Followed 4 wide on the track then as they come to the turn by Giant Bellyache, and then Ice and Water, Lone Star Deputy. Marsh has a lot of work to do. He's been wide. They're in the stretch, and Leo's Last Hurrah, he's the new leader now from Call Me Lefty and Commander's Affair. Followed on the inside by Lone Star Deputy, who's coming through. It's Leo's Last Hurrah. He rejoined by Commander's Affair. Lone Star Deputy on the inside, surging through, and Lone Star Deputy has defeated Leo's Last Hurrah and Commander's Affair.
Lone Star Park and Lone Star Deputy makes the lead here late, just getting up on the inside by a neck. A fast closing effort, just catching Leo's Last Hurrah, who had been very good throughout his entire turf career. Commander's Affair showed very good speed and held on quite nicely to keep position and run third. The winner, Lone Star Deputy, is a dark bay or brown 3-year-old colt, the son of Silver Deputy from Starlight Way by Green Dancer. He was bred by the Mount Brilliant Farm Limited in Kentucky, owned by Coast to Coast Racing Fund, and trained by Brett Calhoun. Ridden to victory by Eddie Martin, Lone Star Deputy covers the flat mile on the turf in 1:39.3. We are going to pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading to Oaklawn Park for a pair of very exciting stakes races on Saturday. Please stay with us.
The New York Breeding and Racing Program salutes 3 multiple stakes winners. Here's multiple Grade 1 winner Critical Eye. Her earnings topped $1 million. And thanks to the New York Breeding Program, her breeder and owner each received an additional $80,000 plus in awards. Jet You Miss Blue picked up a lot of green, more than $800,000 in purses. And on top of that, combined New York Breeding Program awards to her owner, breeder, and stallion owner exceeded $250,000. Say Florida Sandy, winner of 5 graded stakes. He's the all-time New York bred money earner with over $2 million. Plus, the New York Breeding Program has paid out an incredible total of more than $500,000 in owner, breeder, and stallion owner awards. Critical Eye, Jet You Miss Blue, Say Florida Sandy, 3 outstanding New York breds, just 3 of the many examples of why you should get with the program.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to be heading to Oaklawn Park for a pair of stakes races on Saturday. Very exciting pair of races, beginning with the Grade 1 Apple Blossom for fillies and mares. $500,000, a mile and a 16th is the distance. We've got the return to the races of the reigning Horse of the Year, Azeri. Let's head to Oaklawn now in the running of the Apple Blossom.
And they're off in the Apple Blossom. A very sharp start for Take Charge Lady and Mandy's Gold, and Azeri moves right in behind them in third. It's 2.5 back to Affluent in fourth. Next along the inside, Brienne Nicole along with Rihanna and Took Out. They move on to the turn, and Take Charge Lady gets the lead. Mandy's Gold second. Azeri is inside of him in third. That's Brienne Nicole, a length and a half back in fourth. She's pulling on Don Pettinger to get her up there because the opening quarter was a leisurely 24-1. That's Take Charge Lady showing the way. Mandy's Gold second. Brienne Nicole's in the middle third. Azeri is steady behind those leaders in fourth by 2. Affluent is now fifth. To her outside is Rihanna, and the trailer Took Out. Continuing down the backstretch, Take Charge Lady with the lead. Brienne Nicole is second. Mandy's Gold. There goes Azeri now to the outside. After a half in 48-3, Take Charge Lady has the lead, and the champion Azeri now is going to issue her challenge. Between the two of them is Mandy's Gold. Brienne Nicole is fourth by 4. Affluent is now fifth. Then it's Rihanna and Took Out. On the final turn, Take Charge Lady's got the lead. Azeri and Mandy's Gold alongside of her. 3 lengths back to Brienne Nicole. They get past 3 quarters. 1:12-1. Here they come into the stretch of the Apple Blossom Handicap. Take Charge Lady the leader. Champion Azeri is taken over second. Mandy's Gold is third, and straightened for the run through the lane. It is Take Charge Lady leading at a length. Azeri digging in with a furlong to go. Take Charge Lady leads it. Azeri's trying to get to her. Take Charge Lady is strong. Azeri, the champion, trying one more time. Here she comes down the middle. The champion Azeri, and she does it. A tremendous finish as Azeri wins the Apple Blossom. Take Charge Lady finishing second, and Mandy's Gold was third.
Azeri and Mike Smith take it in the final jump. Very exciting race through the stretch. Looked like Azeri might be beaten. Take Charge Lady was able to get out there and set relatively slow fractions. Mandy's Gold did weaken by the top of the stretch as the big bid was made by the reigning Horse of the Year. Take Charge Lady looked like she was going to sprint clear, and Azeri just able to get there on hearts and guts. Classy effort by this Horse of the Year reigning mare. Big win here in a $500,000 race. Her first start back off of the layoff. Take nothing from Take Charge Lady. An exciting stretch run here, certainly, and she looked like she had it won under Shane Sellers, her new rider for this effort. Shane had never been aboard her in the past, but very nice effort after braking sharply. She was able to set that slow early fractions, and it did help her just a little bit, but not quite enough. Mandy's Gold, involved from the start, held on for the third spot as Affluent, the third choice in the wagering actually, ending up finishing fourth after not really showing a whole lot. She wasn't very close to that relatively slow pace, and that probably was her undoing. The winner, Azeri, is a 5-year-old chestnut mare, a daughter of Jade Hunter from Zodiac Miss by Ahunora, bred by Alan Paulson, the late Alan Paulson in Kentucky, owned by the Alan Paulson Living Trust, trained by Laura Desaru, who was a very kind and generous guest appearing on this network on Saturday morning prior to the big afternoon. Ridden to victory by Mike Smith, Azeri covers the mile and a 16th in the Apple Blossom in 1:43 flat. Continuing at Oaklawn with the Grade 2 Oaklawn Handicap, another $500,000 event, this time 4-year-olds and up for the males, going a mile and an 1/8. Let's head back down to Oaklawn and the running of the Oaklawn Handicap.
They're in the gate, and they're off in the Oaklawn Handicap. Medaglia d'Oro showing his usual speed. Slider wants to join him on the outside. Gold Tango is next with Crafty Shaw and Kudos as they come past the grandstand the first time. That is Medaglia d'Oro leading, and Slider wanting to go right along with him. Length and a half back to Crafty Shaw, Gold Tango, and Kudos. Medaglia d'Oro and Jerry Bailey showing the way to get the opening quarter in 23-3. Alongside Slider is second, and Crafty Shaw's less than 2 lengths further back in third. Then Gold Tango and Kudos as they make their way to the back stretch, and Medaglia d'Oro continues to lead, but he's dogged by Slider. Also trying to inch his way up now, Crafty Shaw. It's 3 1/2 back to Gold Tango and Kudos as they continue down the back stretch. Past the half mile, 47-4. Medaglia d'Oro and Jerry Bailey still galloping along. Slider trying to stay right in the striking position. Crafty Shaw has a menacing position in third. Then 5 lengths back to Gold Tango and Kudos. Yet to uncork that big run of his as they head to the final turn. Medaglia d'Oro leading the way. Slider is second. Crafty Shaw inching up in the middle of the track third. Onto the final turn, and it is Medaglia d'Oro through 6 furlongs in 1:12. Slider is second, and length back to Crafty Shaw. And beginning a late run now comes Kudos. Here they come into the stretch of the Oaklawn Handicap. And Medaglia d'Oro leads it, but Slider has stayed with him the entire way. It's Medaglia d'Oro leading a length, Slider staying right with him. And down the middle of the track, here comes Kudos with his late run. Medaglia d'Oro leading it. Slider is second. Kudos trying to come on with a 16th to go. Medaglia d'Oro looks like a champion in the makings. He wins this one by 3. Slider hanging on for second as Kudos finished third.
Medaglia d'Oro pulling off the front-end victory here. Had Slider pressing him pretty hard through much of the early part of this race, but still was able to kick clear easily under Jerry Bailey, who gave him a couple of shakes with the reins, but really didn't have to do a whole lot more. Slider held on to keep his head just in front of Kudos, who rallied from far, far back off the pace to pick up the third spot, rather. The winner, Medaglia d'Oro, a dark bay or brown 4-year-old colt, a son of El Prado from Cappuccino Bay by Bale Jumper. Was bred in Kentucky by Albert Bell and Joyce Bell, owned by Edmund Gann, trained by Bobby Frankel, and ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. Medaglia d'Oro covers the mile and an 1/8 at Oaklawn in 1:47-3. Heading to Keeneland next. Keeneland opening its spring 15-day meet on Friday with the Grade 3 Transylvania for 3-year-olds on the turf. $100,000 the purse, a flat mile the distance. Let's head down to Kentucky in the running of the Transylvania.
And they're off. Deep Shadow will come out from the center of the course to challenge Hypnotist for the lead, and White Cat is there between those two. Chicken Soup Kid moves up, caught to the far outside at the entry to the first turn. Hypnotist has the early advantage. Hypnotist gets over toward the rail, leads it by a length. They stack up 3 across behind the leader. Deep Shadow has the second spot by just a neck. Chicken Soup Kid is a wide third, and White Cat is back toward the rail in fourth. A gap of 5 more to Christmas Away. Strizzy on the outside, Rapid Proof toward the rail. Remind is moving up in the center of the course, but over 10 lengths off the leader. They're at the midpoint of the back stretch. And Larry B is trailing after an opening quarter in 22 4/5 seconds. Hypnotist, the leader by a length and a half. Deep Shadow second, a neck. Chicken Soup Kid is third by just over 2. White Cat is third by 3 1/2. Remind is now within 6 lengths of the lead and running in the 5th position, followed by Christmas Away, Strizzy, Rapid Proof, and Larry B, the half in 46 seconds. Midway on the far turn, Hypnotist is the leader by less than 1 length. Deep Shadow inching forward to the outside outside in second. Gap of 3 back to Remind, who's moving up down toward the rail, trying to get by White Cat after 6 furlongs and 1:10 and 3. They're in the stretch. White Cat takes to the far outside, but at the 8th pole, Deep Shadow has a lead by 1 length. White Cat second, Hypnotist third. Remind is still lingering fourth. Final furlong of the Transylvania. White Cat up to get the lead. Late run from Christmas away from far, far back. Deep Shadow is still there toward the rail. White Cat, Deep Shadow on the inside. White Cat by a head from Deep Shadow, close for third in 1:34 and 4.
White Cat just getting there by a head in a very big effort, taken back rather sharply after breaking very, very well and ending up just finishing in the shadow of the wire by a head in front of Deep Shadow, who followed the pace in the early part of the race, was just overtaken late. Christmas Away, a very nice effort from this one with a 6-wide closing move, but was not able to get into the top 2. The favorite, Remind, unfortunately did have some trouble at the break that really forced him to be taken back in the early part of the race by Jerry Bailey. Made a big bid, but was able to do no better than fourth. The winner, White Cat, is a chestnut 3-year-old son of Mountain Cat from our friend Terry by Cox's Ridge. He was bred in Kentucky by the Still Meadow Farm Limited, owned by Raymond Cottrell Sr., trained by Kenny McPeak. Ridden to victory by Shane Sellers, White Cat covers the flat mile at Keeneland in 1:34 flat. Heading back to Keeneland next for the Grade 1 Ashland for 3-year-old fillies. This race has been moved to the beginning part of their meet now to serve as a prep for the upcoming Kentucky Oaks. It drew a terrific field, $500,000, a mile and a 16th. Let's head back to Keeneland in the running of the Ashland.
And they're off. Holiday Lady boils out at the start. Lady Tack is there toward the inside, and L.O. Love now kicks in from in between horses, and L.O. Love will settle the issue early on to get the lead well before the entry to the first turn. Lady Tack drops back a spot down toward the rail. Holiday Lady is up on the outside, moving from third into second, 1 length off the lead. Then Allspice, who moves into fourth position around the outside of Yell. They are followed by Ivana Venolat, and Unbridled Farm trails 5 lengths off the lead. 24 and 3 was the time for the opening quarter. L.O. Love is the leader by 3 parts of a length. Holiday Lady goes second. Allspice is a wide third. Lady Tack hugs the rail in fourth. She's 2 lengths off the lead. Yell is 1 length behind her, flanked by Ivana Venolat, and Unbridled Farm is content to trail 6 lengths from the front after a half in 48 and 3/5 seconds. L.O. Love is the leader by 1 length at the entry to the far turn. Holiday Lady is second on the outside. Lady Tack moves in a closer third, 1 length off the lead, joined by Allspice, who's there to the outside and who keeps her pinned down toward the rail. Yell behind those front 4. She's running 3 lengths off the lead, a gap of over 2 more back to Unbridled Farm, and Ivana Venolat is last. They're coming to the quarter pole. L.O. Love is still the one to catch. Leads Holiday Lady by a length. Now Lady Tack changes lanes, swings off the rail, goes to the outside. 3 lengths to make up on the leader. Yell is 5 lengths from the front. Allspice has dropped back, and they're coming to the 8th pole. L.O. Love in the final furlong of the Ashland leads it by 2. Lady Tack will need to find more and find it quickly. Holiday Lady is third. L.O. Love, no catching her. She's getting away, a 4-length lead. L.O. Love wins it by 3.5 to take the Ashland. Lady Tack tastes defeat for the first time in her career. She was second. Holiday Lady was third.
L.O. Love, Robbie Alvarado taking advantage of the way this racetrack plays. Did move in quickly. She did drift in a little bit early, but there was a little bit of bumping, but she was able to get to the lead, get to the rail, and hold on very nicely by 3 3/4. This is a filly that had been tussling with Composure out on the West Coast, so obviously horse with some class. The heretofore undefeated Lady Tack broke alertly, in fact, did outbreak L.O. Love, but was taken back to a stalking position, spinning her wheels just a little bit as she made the 3-wide move. Holiday Lady showed good speed and held on nicely at 28-1 for the 3rd spot. The winner, L.O. Love, is a 3-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Gilded Time from Currency Quest by Crypta Clearance. She was bred in Kentucky by North Wales Limited, owned by J. Paul Redham and trained by Craig DeLassy. Ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado, L.O. Love covers the mile and a 16th in the Ashland in 1:43 and 2. One more stakes race to bring to you from Kentucky. That is the Lafayette at Keeneland on Sunday, a $100,000 event for 3-year-old sprinters going 7th for graded stakes credentials. This is a grade 3. Let's head back down to Keeneland in the running of the Lafayette.
And they're off. Posse broke sharply toward the inside. Battle One, quick draw up on the outside. Roll, Hennessy Roll between horses. And now here comes Bossa Nova from the center of the track as they head on to the main course. Bossa Nova on the far outside gets the lead. Roll, Hennessy Roll is in between horses second. Battle One toward the rail. Quick draw settles back into the 4th position. 3 lengths off the lead. Then Posse and a gap of nearly 5 more back to YYY 21 and 3. The time for the opening quarter. Bossa Nova gets over against the rail, leads it by just over a length. Roll, Hennessy Roll is second to half length. Battle One goes third by 2. Posse takes over the 4th spot. Quick Draw is 5th. Gap of nearly 3 more back to YYY, who starts to close that gap but still last. And they're midway on the final turn. Bossa Nova setting the tempo through a half in 44 and 2. Leads it by a length. Roll, Hennessy Roll is second by 2. And then comes Posse, third by a neck outside of Battle One. YYY is still 5 lengths away. Quick Draw is last. They're turning for home. Bossa Nova short lead. Roll, Hennessy Roll right alongside. Posse is third, a length and a half away. Coming to the 8th pole. Roll, Hennessy Roll, a short lead, but Posse is driving to get him on the outside. Bossa Nova third. Final furlong of the Lafayette Stakes, and Posse runs right by Roll, Hennessy Roll. And Posse is going to take the feature. Posse to win it by 2. Roll, Hennessy Roll was second, and then Bossa Nova was third.
Posse, very nice effort by this very fast horse. He has been able to beat good horses on the front and beat them from just off the pace as well. Settling nicely, making a 4-wide driving move to urge him to get clear under Corey Lanerie by 2 1/4 lengths as the favorite at 2-1. Roll, Hennessy Roll, who had been a very nice 2-year-old last year out at California at the end of the season, ships east to finish second with Bossa Nova, the early pace setter, the longest shot on the board at 12-1, holding on well to finish third. The winner, Posse, is a bay 3-year-old son of Silver Deputy from Raska by Rahi. He was bred in Kentucky by Robert and Luana Lowe. He is owned by Heilig Broad Racing Stable, trained by Steve Asmussen, and ridden to victory by Corey Lanerie. Posse covers the 7 furlongs at Keeneland in 1:23 flat. We are going to pause now for one more brief message. When we return, we'll be heading to Southern California for some stakes racing at Santa Anita, then heading back home to New York. Please stay with us.
This year, many thoroughbreds, no longer able to compete, will join the ranks of racing's homeless. Since 1982, the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation and its supporters have been providing help and hope for those in need. Creating opportunities where once there were none, the TRF, together with the racing industry, is meeting the challenge, taking care of their own. Yesterday's innovative concepts, combining the TRF's rescue mission with educational and rehabilitation goals, have become today's life-saving success stories and a track record of unsurpassed growth. Safely retired thoroughbreds are now enjoying second careers, bringing responsibility, healing, and purpose to the lives of those who need it most. With your help, we can continue our saving mission, ensuring many more horses the welcome home they so richly deserve.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to be heading to Southern California, to Santa Anita, for some stakes racing action, beginning with the Las Ciénegas Handicap, a grade 3 $100,000 sprint for fillies and mares on the downhill turf course. Let's head to California and Trevor's call of the Las Ciénegas.
And away they go. All appear to come out well. I Can Go For That as quickest into stride. Pagar came away smoothly in a second. Repository on the outside is third. Secret Garden at the rail is fourth. The grey is I'm the Business up alongside Brocky's Dream. Then we come back to Heat Haze, who's been patiently ridden and taken back to the rear with Embassy Bell. They run to the half-mile pole, and I Can Go For That as the leader. Repository is up to second. Pagar is travelling very nicely in the third spot. Then back to Secret Garden, who's pretty keen to go on. Brocky's Dreams alongside of that. I'm the Business, 5 lengths off these leaders. Then Embassy Bell and Heat Haze quite content to trail. 7 lengths would cover them all. Coming to the top of the lane now, and I Can't Go For That, a length and a half to Repository. Pagar's going to come with her running the red cap down at the rail. Then Secret Garden, Brocky's Dream, I'm the Business. Now Heat Haze is starting to move in, and so is Embassy Bell. This one's wide open. I Can't Go For That. Now Heat Haze is pulled to the outside in the pink cap, and Heat Haze now exploding. Pagar's Secret Garden, I'm the Business. They come for home, and Heat Haze absolutely mowing them down. And it's Heat Haze in a classy performance today, patiently ridden by Jose Valdivia. Heat Haze wins stylishly. I Can't Go For That second, ahead in front of Pagar, and Secret Garden finish fourth.
Heat Haze and Jose Valdivia rallying from last to first. Big effort from this horse after settling on the downhill portion of the course. She swung very wide, rallying clear by 3 from I Can't Go For That. The early pace setter at 42-1 held on very nicely, with Paga sitting just off the early pace and holding on to the third spot. The winner, Heat Haze, is a dark bay or brown 4-year-old daughter of Green Desert from Hasili by Kayasi. She was bred in Great Britain by Juddmonte Farm, owned by Juddmonte, trained by who else? Bobby Frankel, ridden to victory by Jose Valdivia. Heat Haze covers the 6.5, the about distance of 6.5 furlongs on the downhill turf course in 1:13 flat. Heading back to California next for the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby, regarded as thus far the leading prep race for the Kentucky Derby. $750,000 for 3-year-olds going 9 furlongs. Let's head back to California in the running of the Santa Anita Derby.
They're all set for the Santa Anita Derby. And away they go. That's what I'm talking about. Broke well, but was slow into stride and is towards the rear. Calf Wayne in the white blinkers out fast. Iron Lad is right there. Now on the inside, there goes Indian Express and Ocean Terrace to take the lead. Domestic Dispute has no alternative but to go wide into the turn. Buddy Gill in the black colours, 5 off them. Logician is having to be ridden along a little. Might not like that dirt in his face out here. Flirt with Fortune was carried wide into the turn. That's what I'm talking about. Is last early. That's what I'm talking about. 8 lengths off the lead. They go to the 3/4 pole, and Ocean Terrace and Cantus almost at a very sensible pace. They're not flying, but they're going along a good pace. On the outside, it's Indian Express keeping in company. Then 2 back to Domestic Dispute. Iron Lad down at the rail. Calf Wayne is in the white blinkers, gone up to race in 4th, 3 lengths off the leaders. In behind that comes Buddy Gill, who's travelling comfortably in the 6th position. That's what I'm talking about, is back 3rd last. Logician is 2nd last, and Flirt with Fortune trails. Past the half mile they go in the Santa Anita Derby. Ocean Terrace at the rail and Indian Express stride for stride. Now Calf Wayne in the white blinkers looking for somewhere to go. Domestic Dispute right there. Here's Buddy Gill moving into contention from 5th, and let's see. That's what I'm talking about is starting to wind up now, and that's what I'm talking about has got that big long stride going. He's back in 5th, but that's what I'm talking about. Going to come running on the grandstand side. Top of the lane, Buddy Gill takes a narrow advantage. Calf Wayne did not go on. That's what I'm talking about on the grandstand side, but Buddy Gill is the one they have to catch. Indian Express running a huge one down at the rail. Calf Wayne, that's what I'm talking about, not quite doing enough. Here comes Indian Express back at the rail. Buddy Gill, Indian Express, Buddy Gill, a nose to Indian Express. Calf Wayne 3rd, that's what I'm talking about, was 4th. Then came Domestic Dispute, Logician, Flirt with Fortune, Iron Lad 2nd last, and the pace-making Ocean Terrace faded out to last.
Buddy Gill and Gary Stevens, a very nice effort here. Gary Stevens was talking about how good a horse this was after his win in the San Felipe. Not a lot of people were listening. He went off at 6-1 and once again picks up a victory here over Indian Express, making only his 2nd start in the United States, his 1st start going a distance of ground, and a very game effort indeed down inside the more experienced Buddy Gill. Just losing by a head. It was 2.5 lengths back to Calf Wayne in the 3rd spot. A little bit of a one-paced effort from Calf Wayne in the forward group going up the backstretch, but really had nothing left to offer at the top of the stretch. Disappointing performance from the favorite. That's what I'm talking about. Apparently did have some trouble. He bobbled a little bit at the start. Rumors flying that he did have a little bit of problem, that he came back with a couple of cuts on his legs as a result possibly of the bobbling start that he got off to, but just did not seem to have his very best game on Saturday. Perhaps a little bit better could be expected next time out. We're waiting to find out from his connections, but thus far it does appear that the Kentucky Derby is still on his dance card. The winner, however, Buddy Gill, once again another impressive effort from this 3-year-old gelded son of Eastern Echo from Really, rising by four Really. He was bred in Kentucky by Billingsley Creek Ranch, owned by the Desperado Stables et al., trained by Jeff Mullins, ridden to victory by Gary Stevens. Buddy Gill covers the 1 1/8 of the Santa Anita Derby in 1:49.1. We're going to head right back to California next for the San Bernardino Handicap, a Grade 3 $150,000 event for 4-year-olds and up. A couple of old-timers returning to the races off of layoffs in here. Let's head back to California and the running of the San Bernardino.
And way to go. All began smoothly. Lord Jim in the centre and Western Pride from the outside gate. Trace Mark shows speed and Wooden Phone going to tuck in just behind the leading group. Fleet Street Dancer is in the blue colours. On the outside is Total Impact. They're going very fast early on. Then we come back to Keller, who's taken back second last, and Pienza Sonando quite content to trail early. They run to the 7/8 pole, and Lord Jim flying on the lead, has it just over a length. Western Pride second, Trace Mark at the rail. There goes Total Impact in the white cap at joint third. Then comes Fleet Street Dancer. Wooden Phone content to drop 5 lengths off these leaders. Keller is racing back second last, and then the big gap is 6 back to Pienza Sonando. Down the backstretch they go, and Lord Jim in front 3 parts of a length. In the second spot comes Western Pride, been followed then by Total Impact. Trace Mark is now coming under a loose rein, has to pick it up down at the rail. Alongside of that comes Fleet Street Dancer in the blue colours. On the outside is Keller. Wooden Phone now 7 lengths off the leaders, and then it's another 6 back to Pienza Sonando. Into the turn they go, and Lord Jim kicks on for home, tackled by Western Pride. On the outside, Total Impact is a close-up third, then Trace Mark, Fleet Street Dancer. Keller now comes under a rider, 7 to make up. Wooden Phone, something wrong with Wooden Phone today, didn't fire at all. Pienza Sonando still last. At the top of the lane now, and it's still Total Impact on the outside, now coming up to challenge for the lead. Western Pride along the inside, Fleet Street Dancer, then comes Trace Mark. They come for home, and on the outside is Total Impact. Along the inside, Western Pride. Western Pride, Total Impact, Fleet Street Dancer. Western Pride, Total Impact. Western Pride wins to Total Impact, Fleet Street Dancer. Pienza Sonando finish 4th.
Western Pride hadn't been seen in quite some time, but showed his usual early turn of foot, inched away late after a hard-fought stretch effort, beating Total Impact by just a neck. Fleet Street Dancer rallied, as is his usual running style, into the 3rd spot. Disappointing here was Wooden Phone, horse that a couple of years ago earned some notoriety as the horse that beat Tisnow during part of the winter meet at Santa Anita a couple of years back, but nonetheless not quite the horse that he once was. He had suffered a fracture, I believe, to the shoulder, sending him to the sidelines. Had been working sharply, but not quite up to the test in the San Bernardino. Western Pride, the winner, is a 5-year-old dark bay or brown son of Way West from Stronger Than Pride by Proud Birdie. He was bred in Florida by Carl Bowling and Carl Thompson. He is owned by the Chapmans, Carolyn Chapman and Teresa MacArthur, trained by James Chapman and ridden to victory by Pat Valenzuela, who has had a terrific winter meet out in Southern California. The final time for the San Bernardino Handicap, 1:48.2. One more race to bring to you from California, Sunday's running of the Arcadia, a 1.125 on the turf course, $150,000 the purse. Let's head back to California and the running of the Arcadia.
Oh, where they go. Delta Form began well from the inside. Doesn't look like he wants to go on with it, though. In the centre, it's Gondolieri in the white cap taking over. Sunday Breakers right there from the outside gate. Bassanetti going up to join them. Century City settles down in the 4th position. On the outside comes Harrison in the blue sleeves. Right up alongside of Harrison, we have Balangari. Towards the rear is Night Life. And now Delta Form is taken back to last, 10 lengths off them. They run into the first term, and Gondolieri going to be the pace setter. Goes off to lead it by 3 lengths. Sunday Breakers in second, and Passanetti is right there in the 3rd spot. In behind that comes Century City. They've been followed by Balangari, 6 lengths off these leaders. Mananan MacLear is in the white colours down at the rail. Nightlife is the grey, giving them 7 lengths start. On the outside comes Harrison, and Delta Form trails 11 off the leader.
Down the backstretch they go, and it's Gondolieri in front by 2, being tracked by Sunday Break. Not in any hurry out on the lead here. Passanetti's on a tight hold in third. Down at the rail comes Century City. Ballingary's in the pink sleeves, only 2.5 off the leaders. Mananan MacLear is down at the rail. Alongside of that comes Harrison. Nightlife is now 7 off them as they are now quickening into the turn. Delta Form didn't pick it up early, but he's starting to roll now, although 11 off the lead. 3/8 to go, and here comes Sunday Break now to take the lead. Sunday Break on the outside. Gondolieri tries to hang tough. Passanetti is right there in third. Then Century City. Mananan MacLear. Ballingary on the outside. Nightlife going to go for a run through down at the rail. Delta Form is still laugh with Harrison. They come for home. Sunday Break is a narrow leader. On the inside, Gondolieri tries to battle back. Nightlife desperately looking for room down at the rail. On the outside, Century City. Century City now coming best of all. They run to the wire. Century City. Century City. Gondolieri, Sunday Break, and Passanetti was a close fourth.
Century City finally getting it done, and this time at almost 20-1. This horse has been a little bit of an in-and-outer, had shown a great deal of promise since coming to the United States from Europe. Unfortunately, had not quite lived up to expectations. Just when the expectation was dropped, he picks up the big win, ground-saving trip, a little closer to the pace here than he had been in some of his earlier tries, this time getting a game head or neck victory, rather, over Gondolieri. Most of the horses in this race were European imports or South American imports. It was Ireland, Chile, and Japan on the top 3 here as Sunday Break showed good speed, stalking the pace, and held on to finish in the 3rd spot. The winner, Century City, is a bay 4-year-old son of Danzig from Ali Wow by Ali Sheba. He was bred in Ireland by the Kilcarn Stud, owned by Kitchwa Stables and Thomas Nichols, trained by Bo Greeley, and ridden to victory by Jose Valdivia, who had a very good weekend out in California. Century City covers the 1 1/8 of the Arcadia in 1:47.4. One more big stakes race on the weekend, that of course the Excelsior from Aqueduct, a grade 3 $200,000 event for the older horses going 9 furlongs. Let's head to New York in the running of the Excelsior.
And they're off. Balto Star breaks well. Classic Endeavor is sent on the inside. St. Vere also up with the lead on the far outside. And Tempest Fugit. Snake Mountain will be the last of them all. A 3-way scramble for the lead into the clubhouse turn. Classic Endeavor benefiting from that inside post. On the outside, St. Vere. Castellano backs off with Balto Star, and he's now 3rd. And Tempest Fugit is a ground-saving 4th. Tempest Fugit now moves up a spot. Balto Star is now back running in 4th position. And the trailer is Snake Mountain, the favorite last, as they begin their run up the backstretch, and Classic Endeavor shakes loose to lead by 2. Had to run a quarter in a testing 23 seconds flat. So Classic Endeavor leads the way, a clear lead down the backstretch. St. Vere is backed off a bit to run in 2nd. And Tempest Fugit races in 3rd. Balto Star, 5 lengths from a half, then went in 46 2/5 seconds. Snake Mountain trails the field, and Mike Gluszy is starting to motivate him. They move into the far turn. It's still Classic Endeavor, committed to the lead with 4 furlongs to go. The leader a length and a half. St. Vere chasing now and turning up the pressure. Balto Star makes his move as they round the far turn. Tempest Fugit toward the inside is now back running in 4th. Snake Mountain is in a drive, but he's still last with less than 3 furlongs to go. 3/4 by Classic Endeavor in 1:10.2. St. Vere working harder to stay up with him. Balto Star swings into action as the field turns for home. Tempest Fugit and Snake Mountain. Balto Star got taken wide by the tiring St. Vere. And as they come to mid-stretch, it's Classic Endeavor. 2-length lead on the outside, Balto Star. Snake Mountain getting on track very late. They're coming down to the final 16th. Classic Endeavor fully extended. Holding up Balto Star. Done toward the inside, Tempest Fugit. Under the line, Classic Endeavor goes wire to wire.
Classic Endeavor has done absolutely nothing wrong this wintertime. In fact, has been an absolute monster since winning a 20-claimer back in the fall. Was only beaten twice over this wintertime in a hard-fought campaign. Last time just nipped by Snake Mountain. This time he's able to turn the tables on that rival with a very strong front-end victory here. Pressed in the early part of the race by St. Vere, amongst others, as well as Tempest Fugit. But he was able to draw clear with Balto Star picking up a little bit of ground to finish in the 2nd spot. Tempest Fugit Nice effort to finish third in his first start back against a little bit better company. Disappointing was the favorite Snake Mountain, who never really seemed to get into his very best running style. Kind of a one-paced effort for him, perhaps the effects of a long winter campaign wearing just a little bit on Snake Mountain. Obviously not wearing on Classic Endeavor, who I think probably deserves this graded stakes win as much as anybody after the hard winter campaign as he has had, and a very successful one at that. Classic Endeavor is a dark bay or brown 5-year-old son of Silver Buck from Boldwana by John Alden. He was bred in Florida by Diane Flowers, owned by Herbert and Carol Schwartz, trained by Scott Schwartz, ridden to victory by Chucky Lopez. Classic Endeavor covers the 1 1/8 of the 91st Excelsior Breeders' Cup Handicap in 1:48 flat. That wraps up a very busy weekend of stakes racing action. We hope you've enjoyed the program and hope you'll be able to join us again next week, where the program will be highlighted by the National Big Three Pick 3 for the 3-year-olds, starting with the Arkansas Derby, going to the Bluegrass, and of course the Wood Memorial here in New York, as pretty much the final prep racing for Kentucky Derby hopefuls does wrap up next weekend. We hope you'll be able to join us for those and many other stakes races from around the country here on Horses and Courses. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.